What's up guys, back with another Photoshop tip. This one's going to be covering removing haloing on contrasting edges. I think everyone's experienced this at least once in their editing. So if we look at this image here, along this ridge line, which is contrasting, high contrast against the sky, I'm getting some haloing here. It's quite visible. So in order to remove this, what we're going to do is go to the section of haloing, and we want to create a mask that only selects a certain color, for example, the sky in this case. So we're going to do this by going up to Select, Color Range, and then using our eyedropper here we can see the mask. Using our eyedropper, selecting the color, we can see the mask that's created here. So now if we want to add additional colors, for example, the blue kind of changes to a magenta over here, we just hold Shift and we click over here. So that's going to add the magenta in. And if we want to remove any colors, if you accidentally, if the ridge is a little bit sharing any colors in common with the sky, we can hold Option to subtract the colors of the ridge. So we get a really contrasting mask through this color range selection. So once we're done, we're going to click OK, and we have our marching ants. We're going to want to hide those marching ants, Control H. And now we're going to get our clone stamp. So this way we're only going to be cloning the selection of the sky and not affecting the ridge. So with our clone stamp here, maybe zoom in a tiny bit more, I'm going to select right above where this cloning is happening, and then start just painting in, continually reselecting the cloning location. Maybe make my brush a little bit larger here. And just slowly going over the ridge here. And down. And don't worry about getting on your rock since we made that selection in the first place. And if you notice that something's not getting cloned out, some of the haloing, you may have to go into your color mask and modify it slightly. So for example, over here I'm getting a little bit, some pinks actually, so the haloing is remaining there. So in that case I would go and modify my color selection. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to kind of hurry through this just to demonstrate the method here. So if we look at a before and after, we can see a before and an after, and you can see that haloing disappears almost completely off the edge. And like I said, do some modification of your color mask to account for any additional colors in your sky. If you have the Raya Pro plugin, this is a lot easier. This is done through the Instamask and then color selector here, and then you'd select the color and then make it more restrictive or less restrictive depending on what it's selecting. And it generally does a better job than doing this by manually creating a color selection, but it's still possible, as you can see here. So that made a big difference. Alright guys, hope you find that helpful.